Welcome to this Blackpool Music School video all about the Cigar box guitar. I am using my Delta Golf tuned Cigar box guitar, but any tuning is fine. Alpha Echo Alpha Charlie Golf Charlie Delta Alpha Delta. As long as you are tuned octaves, that's the two strings on the outside and a fifth in the middle, these techniques will work. You will just be playing in a different key to me. So let's get going. To get the most from this lesson, you'll have need to seen the previous 3 lessons about a couple of weeks ago now. And in this video I'm going to show you how you can play chords as well as slide in a song. Some people think because you just use slide, you're just stuck to playing slide. No, you can add some proper chords in as well. So let's get going. I use a glass slide on my middle finger. Some people use the ring, some people use the little, some people use metal slides, some made of ceramic. It's entirely up to you. I just tend to use mine on my middle finger. But you use which technique works for you. I tend to use that finger because I can use my first finger to rest behind it to mute some of the strings to stop over rattling. Sometimes you want that rattle, sometimes you don't. So in this video I'm going to show you how to combine chord playing with slide playing. So let's get going. For this video we're going to use the chord progression we used in the second video. That is Golf, Echo minor, Charlie, Delta. The chords will be on the screen now. We are playing 1 bar for each letter. 1 bar will simply be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's down on the numbers, up on the ands. So let's get going. So we have 1 bar of G. Now that's a G power chord, as I mentioned in previous videos. To make it a proper G major, it is the ring finger or one of your fingers at the 4th fret of the G string nearest the floor. That is now a G major chord. We also have a G slide chord at the 12th fret and the G power chords. We've got G power, G major, G slide chord. So we're going to play those G chords in this order. G power chord, 1 and, 2 and with the slide. So it's 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. The reason we finish with G major I'll explain in a minute. So it's 1 and, power chord, 2 and at the 12th fret, 3 and power chord, 4 and G major. So that 1 chord sounds like this now, that 1 bar, sorry. The reason why we're finishing with a G major chord is to make that into E minor, the next chord, all you have to do is add the 1st finger to the 2nd fret of the middle string. That is an E minor chord. That's your next chord. You've also got an E power chord which you can use instead of the E minor. See the previous videos for that information. At the 9th. So you've got E minor there, E power chord at the 9th. So that transition again, you've just finished playing the G major chord there. You put your 1st finger at the 2nd fret of the middle string, that's E minor. We've also got the 9th fret for E minor as well as the slide E minor at the 9th fret. So you've got E minor there, E minor with one finger, or a slide. The choice is yours. So this is how you can mix all three of those together in one bar. You can use a combination of these or bits and pieces, it's entirely up to you. So we've got the E minor here. For that, that is 1 and 2 and. Then you slide up to the E minor at the 9th for the 3 and. Then simply rotate your first finger for the 4 and. So again, that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Very slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The 3 and 4 and, I am at the 7th fret for the 3, strumming down, on the 9th for the up, and then simply move that finger out the way and let this finger for the 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Again, that is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So again, 1 and 2 and on that E minor. Go to the 7th fret for the 3. Slide up for the and over the 9th. Then slide that finger off and that one for the 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If you get any rattles, that's fine. And that's the E minor chord covered. Now let's move on to the C chord. A C chord major, a proper chord, is the first finger at the 2nd fret of the middle string and one of your fingers at the 5th fret of the string nearest the floor, the high G. That is a C chord. We've got a C power chord at the 5th fret and a C slide chord at the 5th fret also. So we can do similar to what we did with the E minor. So like the E minor, we can follow the same pattern. A proper C major chord for the 1 and 2 and. That's 1 and 2 and. The slide at the 3rd fret for the 3. Slide into the 5th fret for the and of 3, then rotate that finger for that one. Again, the C chord, 1 and 2 and, 3rd fret, down for the and of the 3, slide up to the 5th fret for the and of 3, then rotate that finger in, 4 and. Again, 1 and 2 and. One and 2 and 3 and 4 and that is the C chord covered. Now let's move on to the D chord. That is this one. It is the 2nd fret of the 2 outer strings, that's the low G and the high G. So that's played 1 and 2 and, like the C chord and the E minor chord. Then we're on the 3 and, the count of 3, we're at the 5th fret, 3, and you're sliding into the 7th on the and of 3. Then you add that finger again. So the count is again this: 1 and 2 and. On the count of 3 we're at the 5th fret going down. On the and of 3 at the 7th, then rotate that out for that first finger. Again, 1 and 2 and. One and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that passage of music can now sound like this. Here it sounds like you've put some practice in. It sounds bigger, sounds better than just playing on one chord. Again, it sounds like this. Again, one more time. So as you can see, it now sounds like a proper piece of music. There's a bit of variation. You can just strum and play it like this. But by adding those little bits, it can sound a bit like a proper piece of music. So again, that piece of music can sound like this. And in the next video, I'll be adding a little bit more to it again. Well, I do hope you found this video useful. If you have, please give us a big thumbs up and subscribe to Blackpool Music School for more videos. The more thumbs up we get, and the more subscribers we get, the more videos we will post. So, until next time, take care, keep practicing, keep playing, and as always, goodbye.